How the F do you make friends as an adult if you don't drink? My turn to shine since I moved countries 3 times as an adult. Ranked from most effective to least. Work. Never eat lunch alone, organize hangouts after work. Professional networking organizations. Nothing bonds more than hating your industry/job together. Going out alone and chatting up strangers. Women here and have befriended men who approach me this way, so don't say this won't work for men. You just have to genuinely want to be friends instead of being a creeper. If you have kids and they have kids, they'll want to be friends. Reddit. If someone in a niche subreddit you're into happens to mention they live in your city, just go, "Hey, I live there too, want to meet up?" The more niche the sub, the higher chance of making friends. Random fun classes/activities. If you're both into it, you probably will click. Online dating. Surprisingly, made many good friends of this. Of course, some were with benefits. New mom groups. Everyone is depressed to a certain degree, sleep deprived, and desperate for support. Social media. Made a few genuine friends, also got some creepers, so it's a gamble. The closest I have gotten to making new friends is through 1. My kids' sports, just hanging out with the other parents or coaching teams. I don't consider any of them to be friends, but we enjoy hanging out and shooting the breeze at games, but once sports are over, I'll never see them again. But if I run into them randomly, I'm sure we'll chat for a minute. Solid acquaintances. 2. Video games. Just having a regular group of randoms in a server regularly is nice. I play a racing game and the others are typically all from other countries, but text chat is fun and it's at least interaction with people I don't live with. If I really wanted friends, I'd probably have to go back in time and do a better job keeping in touch with my old group of buddies. Beyond here is an edit due to "it's never too late to keep in touch" reply. Edit. Yes, I agree it's usually never too late, but when you literally don't even know what to say or talk about with an old friend who was a very good friend and you are hoping that you can just talk about their kids' sports, I think it's pretty damn late. But this happens to millions of people, it's normal, and I don't dwell or recommend anyone else dwell on it. My parents, mid-70s, moved into a 55-plus housing community, houses, not assisted living, and they've made friendly with neighbors, play cards, pop in for a drink on occasion, so maybe it gets easier later. And I'm not really sad about not having friends, I'm just a bit to myself and enjoy short, earnest conversations with the many people I've gotten to know. The friends I have made in adulthood were not made through boozy social situations, even though I'm Irish and we love our boozy socials. I've made friends through work and through hobbies. I love taking fun classes. I like taking dance classes mostly, and when you're going to the same class week in, week out, you get talking to other people at the class and friendships can blossom. You can be friendly and smiley and strike up a bit of a conversation, and from that, you build up a bit of a rapport. I made friends by asking a couple of the girls if they'd like to grab a coffee after class, and then it became a weekly thing, coffee after class. It doesn't have to be dance, any kind of class works, even if it's an educational one. Evening classes are a great place to make new friends. Then, and I know everyone's workplace is different, certainly mine is very easy to make friends. Through work, you can make some nice friends. Sit with people at lunch hour instead of eating at your desk or in your car, chat to people during the workday and find out things about them. If they have a family, if they have any hobbies, etc. Then when you build up a bit of friendliness, ask them if they'd like to go to lunch or, yes, I know, again, a coffee after work and so forth. It definitely helps to be friendly and outgoing. I'm not naturally outgoing, but I am naturally a very friendly person, so I guess that makes me more approachable. So try to be approachable and learn the art of small, friendly talk. 1. Be passionate about some stuff that adds substance to your life. 2. You don't need a lot of friends. 3. When you talk to people, strangers, coworkers, etc., be your 100% genuine self. This should help you avoid being a doormat. If you find you're still a doormat, you should revisit step 1. My best friend and I really only share a couple things: our love of gangster rap and 90s hardcore punk, and our beliefs in undying, over-the-top self-empowerment. That's not exactly shit I hear people talking about at parties. Oh yeah, on my way over, I was bumping some fucking McBreed and yelling at myself in the rearview mirror, "Look at what you've done with your life, motherfucker. How far you've come. Keep fucking going. Crush the opposition, bitch. Let's go." Like I said, be your 100% genuine self. Adults don't care if you drink. Now, many adults do enjoy drinking, but actual adults don't really care if you just want to hang out. I'm in my 30s, I do drink, my wife doesn't. Here's the thing in your 30s. Y'all go to a brewery or some such, well, not so much lately, and the whole group will always have a few people not drinking for any or all of the following reasons: driving, pregnant, on a prescription that makes it inadvisable, don't feel like it, don't like what's available, the flesh drinks only blood. And genuinely no one cares if they're a mature group worth hanging out with. Here's the question to ask. Do you mean that you only want to hang out in situations where people aren't drinking? That's a different thing and a bit more limiting. But seriously, mature adults deal with all sorts of reasons people won't drink. This isn't college. No one thinks your coolness is derived from crushing Miller Lights. The only people I've ever seen ostracized from a group of adults are people who are unpleasant, most frequently because they drank way too much. Edit. And honestly, in college, no one worth hanging out with cared either. I'm gonna add a very specific one. The app, Slowly. It's an app who acts like a meeting app, except that everything works as if you were sending real letters. You can receive them from all over the world, and 99% of people use it to make friends, overlooking for a partner like most meeting apps. You enter in your hobbies, maybe put in the countries, gender, age of the people you want to talk to. I left it open and received beautiful letters from aged people wanting to talk to someone. And there you go. I have met my 2 best friends there, one from Germany and one from Brazil. We've been talking for years now. It's too much work for scammers, so everyone is genuine. I can never not recommend it. I made most of my friends because I started streaming video games. I didn't meet them all from streaming, but as I started to get to know a few of my regular viewers, we became really good friends. And I also got better at being able to tell if someone was going to turn into an asshole early on. So I got more confident with socializing, and I started to meet new people on Reddit and Twitter too. I even met someone in the checkout line at Walmart who seemed like my kind of person, and I made sure to exchange info with them right away. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. All you need. It solves a lot of problems everyone has as an adult. You meet a lot of people, whether in your own club, competitions, BJJ camps. Any relatively big city should have a BJJ gym, so you can meet people anywhere. It keeps you fit. Each training session involves sparring, and it is similar to an HIIT workout, although you still see lots of examples of typical dad bod veterans who will destroy you. You join a community in which you can be a part of for life. It's like a church with traditions, but where everyone is trying to choke each other in stylish pajamas. It's great for the mind. BJJ gives you confidence, but at the same time, it is a good ego killer. And it seriously teaches discipline, consistency, camaraderie, and for some, it's also a good outlet 2 to 3 times a week. You learn some actual self-defense. Jiu-Jitsu is one of the main martial arts in MMA. It revolves around grappling and taking people to the ground, where striking becomes way less effective. Of course, it's not going to save your ass from a group fight or someone with a knife, but it helps. It gives you something to strive for a very long time / for life. A black belt takes 10 plus years. And even if you get it, there is still an almost limitless amount of things you can still learn and teach. My advice to people in this situation in their 20s is to throw yourself into your work. In your 30s, your career will have advanced and people will chill out with the partying. At that point, you will be socializing with people who did the same. The non-drinker and moderate drinker crowd at least doubles at that point. Meanwhile, while all the cool kids who worked as bartenders, DJs, influencers, etc., are starting to low-key panic because they are still renting with no savings and know they are on the verge of getting pushed out of their jobs for the new kids on the block. You can still keep trying to make friends doing activities, but just know that it does get better later. Okay, seriously, most of us have few friends, if any. Most friends are carried over from childhood, and the relationship is based on nothing more than nostalgia. Most of us have more acquaintances than friends. It's hard to make friends because most American adults are busy with their lives, either family, children, or career. Most are lonely but likely have no time or energy left to do anything about it. Just look at what's been suggested here on how to make friends. Online dating, romantic partners that don't work out, make friends at work/professional development groups, career-centered, and if you have kids, other parents, family/children. Here are my suggestions. 1. Realize that this will be a long-term project and investment. This will be the 30 mortgage of investments. It will take a long time to mature. 2. It's a numbers game. You are looking for many acquaintances, not friends. Your hope is that out of those many acquaintances, some will eventually, with a lot of work, mature into actual friendships. 3. Define for yourself what a friend means to you. Is it someone that will help you move? Is it a shoulder to cry on? Is it someone who will call daily to say hello? 4. You need to become the good friend to one/some of these many acquaintances we talked about above. You need to exert the effort you want to see in others towards you. Some will reciprocate, others will not. Leave those in the acquaintance pile and move on. They might eventually mature to friends, maybe not, and that's okay. 5. So how do you make acquaintances? Well, now that we know you're looking for acquaintances and not friends, well, those are everywhere. It's the people you run into daily. 6. Acquaintances to friends equals reputation, frequent interaction, frequent positive interactions, common interests. This also means common geographic proximity, your local neighborhood, ongoing common interests, and the like. 7. If you have extended family, I would encourage you to reconnect with them. You meet good people through other people. Become the good friend to someone else, and they will introduce you to others. Good luck, OP. Go with the knowledge that we are all lonely and many of us are in the same boat and many of us are always in search of friends. Many people are shy, don't think they don't like you. Many people are busy with life, don't take it personally. Many of those people will make time for a good friend if you give them enough time. Very carefully if you don't want to end up as their designated driver. I can't even go to family events without being demanded by distant family members to chauffeur them around. Half don't even know my name, but they all know what's-her-face that doesn't drink. Some even have the audacity to stop me on the way in to instruct me not to leave without them. So leaving early isn't straightforward. I have found night classes to be the best way to make adult friends. People from all walks of life attend. Think stained glass making or dog grooming. A great way to meet interesting characters. Also, if you have a local drama society or musical society, I'd recommend joining it. You don't even have to be on stage. Stagehands, set painters, etc. are always welcome. The secret is to live a non-drinking life that is active and involved in your community by surrounding yourself with like-minded people through your choices of activities. Drinking is not doing something other than slightly poisoning your brain as a distraction and temporary escape from pain that ultimately only creates further bad choices that create more pain. It's the practice of a fool. Keep your eye on the ball and not the bullshit around the ball. For example, seek out and join planned events that you are genuinely interested in. That may be a co-ed softball team, Habitat for Humanity, community garden, beach cleanup type events that you can find online and show up eager to participate and be approachable. If you're dating, be upfront about your sober life and that you're looking for a mate that also leads a sober life. Find a purpose that aligns with you. Big brothers, big sisters, volunteer at a troubled youth center or animal rescue. Keep yourself driven with real plans and goals. Sit down with yourself and write down what you want. Make it real, make it defined, make a plan towards those goals, and keep yourself accountable with a journal. Take an inventory of whom you know that represents someone that you respect, and reach out to those people with a willingness to learn, ask for help, seek out a mentor. Regardless of your religious beliefs, live a wholesome life, as if it matters, then it will. Cut out the cancers in your life. Some will be painful, some you feel extreme loyalty to, but every moment you spend enabling the behaviors of poisonous takers in your life will steal from your life and feed their beliefs that evil behavior prevails. It doesn't. Start taking care of yourself. Make your own bed every day. Gear up and show up in your own life. Do you smoke cigarettes? You just eliminated 90% of the population from your life and left behind the portion of society that lives in despair as your friends. Successful, happy people don't openly kill themselves with something that makes them reek. Stop and think about your new crutch as the dagger you stick in your own back. At least switch to vape and keep it discreet if you must feed this addiction. That will ease off some of the unseen destruction those smokes are doing to your life. Want to find a good friend? Start being one. Who do you help? Ask what you can do for free to help them get going. Stop watching the news all damn day. Stop thinking that burying your nose in Facebook is a life. It isn't. You're a spectator of fabricated bullshit. Get a whiteboard and start putting the random good ideas in front of you to ponder further each day. Make a plan to turn one into reality. It will become your first step on a journey you chose, and only allow a companion to that journey when they give as much as they take. Start paying attention and you will see opportunities instead of despair. This is for men trying to meet women. 1. Be 100% confident in yourself. This can be harder than it sounds. 2. Make sure you use proper body language. 3. Go to a place where a lot of people are, preferably somewhere you know there are people with similar interests. 4. Now it's about getting familiar to the idea of talking to people. Start by making eye contact to random people. If they look back, smile and go on. After a while, you can start saying hi to those that smile back. If you own this, you can try starting conversations. One good way to do that is by asking questions. For example, if you're in the shopping mall, ask their opinions on this t-shirt, perfume, or whatever you are thinking about buying. Another way is to smile at them, and if they smile back, you can gesture with your finger that they should come over. If they don't, they are not that interested. Go on and don't look back. If they come over, talk a little bit and then ask them for their number. Wait a few days before you actually call, and then you can ask for either a date or whatever else you want to do, depending on what your intentions are. Wink. No responsibility is accepted for the accuracy of this information. Wink. My dad drank once in his life, didn't enjoy it, so he never drank again. Through sports, jobs, and friends of friends, he met people and maintained friendships by going out with everyone to bars, and typically being the designated driver. When he had a car full of drunk friends, they would ask to drive places so they could moon people, usually nuns. Not drinking can have its advantages. He met my mom in his early 30s. She likes to drink, but they managed to maintain a healthy relationship since the 1980s. When I was in high school, I too decided not to drink while my friends did, and we would always get up to no good after the parties ended because I could make the late-night McDonald's run among other after-party antics. You don't have to drink to be involved in the fun, but to be fair, my dad and I are fairly extroverted people by nature, so I get that it can be hard for others to loosen up sometimes. Also had another friend who quit drinking around the end of high school and is still sober to this day. No matter how wild the party gets, it's always great to have a sober perspective to tell the rest of us how dumb we're being. He also has the ability to manipulate us into doing even more dumb stuff, which I think gives him lots of entertainment in lieu of drinking. Is it easier to meet people when you drink? I believe so, especially with the lowering of inhibitions, social anxieties, etc. Do you need to be drunk to make friends? No, but it's a little harder to let your guard down and make meaningful connections. Been sober, alcohol, quite a few years now. Trick was to move house and change my number. That way, less temptation to get called up by drunk buddies and go out. I joined a gym and started a new job, so that helped break all the old patterns and teach me some desperately needed discipline. I got very clear about what I wanted in life and went for it. I was so done with the health scares and losing chunks of time, etc. It was pretty lonely at first, but started meeting people at the gym and, weirdly enough, some chill online chat groups. God bless the internet. With the exception of maybe bars/real rowdy scenes, you can still go to a lot of the same places. I didn't realize it for decades, but I can actually get a soda at a restaurant and be charming and carry on conversation. Or a party at someone's home. For me, it was just needing to learn how to turn down drinks and not get some weird FOMO about it. Personally, I've noticed a lot less of the stigma of like, what, you don't drink? Why? Type reactions these days. Seems like people choosing to be sober is almost trendy and cool. Rec sports if you can. I promise you that under no circumstances must you be any good. There tends to be some people who really care about winning, but by and large, everyone is there to make friends first and foremost. As long as you put in a little bit of effort, people will be happy to have you there. The key is after the game, though. The games are max an hour, so it's not like it's eating up your time, and there are no practices or anything. A lot of leagues are beer leagues. I've been on teams with plenty of people who don't drink, and I think one time someone got some pressure, and the person that pressured them was the one ostracized. So much time is spent in our youth talking about peer pressure with regards to drugs and alcohol, but by the time you're 20, it's really not there. Maybe because it's been drilled into everyone? If it's a beer league and you're uncomfortable going to the bar, or if it's not a beer league at all, at the end of the game, just ask the whole group if anyone wants to grab a bite to eat. Chances are a chunk will. You can even bring some snacks to offer up post-game and hang around for a little in the park. At any of these post-game gatherings, you'll talk about other stuff and find shared interests. Sometimes someone will throw a party and extend a blanket invite to the team. Maybe someone is excited about the same movie you are. It starts unraveling from the slap-together team and you make some great friends. I'm garbage at softball, but my team has and will do anything to help each other off the field. Obviously, none of this works right now in the pandemic. It's not a good time making friends for anyone, including the barflies. Games. When the kids become teenagers, we went to a board game convention only because it was 5 miles down the road, so why not? Since then, we have hosted game nights, online game nights, attended other conventions, and converted people we haven't seen in years to do the same. Our now adult sons also do board games, online games, card games, and Magic the Gathering. 2 of them don't drink. The one who does actually hangs out with less people because his drinking friends aren't as into games as they are into drinking. Hit me up if you ever want to do some online gaming. We do City of Heroes on Wednesdays, Among Us on Mondays, and are thinking of starting World of Warcraft or some D&D based game Fridays. Edit. We're older, but our kids play with us and run their own games too. If you're more comfortable with the 20-something set, I think the youngest still has a League of Legends night running among other games. As so many others have said, hobbies. For me, it has been D&D or other role-playing games. But the part that causes the friendships for any hobby is the 3-ish hours each week of forced socialization, preferably in person, COVID safety aside. For me, it has worked in 2 different cities and has taken up to a year each time before we started trying to connect and hang out outside of the group. And the people you click best with long term may not be the ones you assumed you'd connect with when you first joined the group.